Yo everyone, it's finally happening. Tonight, in a matter of hours, Black Dahlia will be released. By the point this video is out, it's probably gonna be released already. And we've got the 5.2 patch notes coming in fresh and hot. Okay, this is really exciting. I just have a disclaimer here. I have already read through these patch notes, so you're not really looking for my reaction or anything. I know what to expect, but I just want to discuss and go through the important bits out of these patch notes. So first up, we've got Black Dahlia herself and some information about her gameplay, her lore. So we've seen this bullet strategy from Trigger Happy's trailer. There's two buttons here. The first one shoots the bullet and the second one reloads it. And there's six different shots. We've covered those in the last video as well. And this is the interesting bit. When you reload, there's a certain pattern that are loaded for each shot. So the first, second, fourth, and fifth will always be standard shots. The third shot will be a special shot matching Dahlia's element, and the sixth shot is a random special shot. And here are the elements. So if you're a fire type, fire element, your third shot will always be a fire shot. If you're a lightning, if you're an air, it's gonna be lightning, and so forth. So these are just some information about the elements and their shots. I would assume if you're a neutral element, which we don't have one yet, we do not have a neutral Black Dahlia, but if we do, the third shot will be a random special shot, just like the sixth one. That's my guess. And that's Dahlia. We've got a new modifier, Deadeye. It has now been confirmed that it ignores the opponent's defense and will not trigger the effects of auto block, unflinching, evasion, or thorns. That is a pretty good buff. That's pretty strong, especially when later you'll find out that Dahlia can get this buff really easily. Being able to ignore the opponent's defense has some interesting implications. That means you might not have to build piercing on her. It's a bit risky, but it is something to consider. You can invest more in attack, crit damage, because she does gain death mark really easily as well, and rely on Deadeye to ignore that defense. That's really interesting. What I want to understand is whether or not it ignores armor. I don't think so. I think it's just defense. I think Deadeye is basically just a substitute for piercing, and if you have piercing on top, it probably won't add up. It won't do much. It won't add up. So if you have max piercing, this bit where it ignores the opponent's defense, my guess is that it's not going to do anything, and you're really only looking for the auto block, unflinching, evasion, or thorn effects being negated. That's pretty strong. I do wish it also negates Final Stand, but I think that would be too strong, because Final Stand is quite a premier defensive strategy in Rift battles, and I thought Dahlia could have, if she has that unique ability to burst through that Final Stand, that would be really strong. But I guess auto block, thorns, evasion, that's still pretty good. Although some of the meta defenders, like Painwheel for example, they reflect damage not through thorns but through their own ability, so that doesn't really get affected. But I'm interested to see how well this is gonna perform as a buff, especially when you consider that this buff someday in the future it's gonna get transferred to other characters as well, right? This always happens. A new character gets released with a new buff or debuff. It's exclusive to that character for a while, and then by the next update, the next variants show up, they're gonna have these buffs. It happened with Guard Break, it happened with Auto Block, and it's gonna happen with Deadeye. Okay, now we've gone through everything. Okay, so now it's the special moves and blockbusters. I'm not going to go through them. I think we've seen some quite enough. We've got Death Mark. This is a tag out. An Apple Juice gives you Deadeye, Counter Strike. We've seen this in action. Inflicts heal block, which is really nice, and it staggers the opponent as well. Death Pendulum, increased critical hit chance. Usually these type of moves, I'm kind of like, it's fine, it's good. But for Dahlia especially, because she has that on-demand Death Mark, Death Pendulum seems like a huge staple for her, and it allows her to do some really insane combos. I think this is a really good special move. Medigi Mousetrap is an interesting one. We have not seen this in action, but it's able to inflict, immobilize, and disable blockbusters. I'm interested to know how we're actually gonna use this, how reliable it is. It gives me doubles blockbuster vibe. What's the name? Gehenna trap, the one that you put on the ground. Maybe it works something like that, so maybe it has a way to keep the opponent in at bay. It's definitely interesting, and I'm looking forward to see how this actually performs with some of the variants, because so far we've seen Dahlia. She does have a gun, she can like shoot projectiles, but there's no variants that are like zoners yet. So far everything seems to be a close hit combat, so we're not sure where this is gonna land. It's a really neat tool though. And then we've got Onslaught, where she moves forward, attack, and gain Deadeye. I'm a bit hesitant on this. I don't know how well this is gonna perform, so we just have to see how this actually works. I'm pretty sure it's not a grab. I'm pretty sure it's not an unblockable move. So it seems like it's gonna be pretty easy to be guarded. So yeah, we'll see. We'll test this out and see how actually good it is. T-Slip is an interesting one. It teleports Dahlia backwards, but then it also reloads her gun and removes debuffs from herself. So she got a debuff cleanser. That's interesting. That's actually pretty good because she does not have immunity, but she can just remove debuff from herself with a single special move that puts her at like a safe distance from the opponent. Seems really good. A really good tool. I don't know how great it's gonna be, but it's good to have. Blockbuster Stage Hazard. We've seen this in action as well. I know that it can do some insane combos with the fire stuff, but importantly, blocking the barrel can also inflict guard break. Okay, that is really, really good. This, so far, you know, a lot of characters, they have ways to be aggressive with the opponent, whether that's through command grabs. It does not seem like Black Dahlia has any command grabs, but being able to inflict a guard break, that's huge. That is really, really huge. I'm interested to find out how this actually works, whether the guard break is actually reliable or not. And hopefully it's also a BB1, so it charges really fast. This seems a pretty promising blockbuster. Doormat, we've seen that in action. It inflicts armor break, and it flunks the opponent. It seems like an easy blockbuster to use, so it's probably just a standard staple, something like Silent Scope or something. Yeah. Next is Empower. We haven't seen this in action, but we have seen this in Second Encore. In mobile, though, it's able to inflict Curse, so there is... Whoa! Black Dahlia is able to control... Well, not control... Slightly control buffs in a way, and puts her in an empowered state, which gives her more powerful throws and charge attack. I don't know about these. I think these are just extra bits that you don't really pay attention. It's the Curse that is particularly really, really strong, and it's also a blockbuster one. That's insane. That sounds really good. Parting Gift is an interesting blockbuster too. We've seen this in action with Psycho Commander's trailer. It seems it tosses a sticky bomb onto the opponent or directly into the stage, and then you can tap it again to make it explode. So it's kind of like a Silent Scope with extra steps, but it's able to deal more damage the more debuffs the opponent has. This is an interesting one. I could see this being used, for example, with Medici Mousetrap. Once the opponent gets trapped by the Mousetrap, you detonate the Parting Gift. That could potentially be a useful strategy. I don't know if that's actually viable or not, but it's an interesting blockbuster, and I'm looking forward to see how much damage it actually can deal. The last one is Last Call. Dahlia loads one of every ammo type into her barrel and then unleashes them all on the opponent in a sequence. I don't think we've seen this in Second Encore. We've seen a move where she reloads every ammo type, but this is new, and I think this might be new to mobile. If she kills with this, she gains Enrage and Deadeye. Okay, that's interesting. I'm guessing if the opponent's already dead, the Enrage and Deadeye don't really do anything. So it might be just a way for her to inflict all different special shots, which might have an effect based on their signature ability. I'm guessing a lot of their signature ability, Dahlia's variants, will revolve around ammo shots, so this might be a useful way to do that. And we also got to know that there's new blockbusters in future updates for Dahlia, potentially. So this might not be just everything, although I feel like she's got a lot of tools already, so what else can they give us? Marquee ability, Clockwork Origin. So the first one is Metal Breakdown. Special shots inflict 30% bonus damage and inflicts armor break for 10 seconds. That's a pretty standard signature Marquee ability. It's nothing crazy. It gives the special shot a tiny bit more damage and inflicts armor break, although the armor break is a bit redundant because we do have Doormat. And I'm guessing Doormat is going to be a staple blockbuster, but I guess that depends on your playstyle. It seems pretty good though. The no time to die when the opponent lands a critical hit, gain regen and haste for 15 seconds each. That sounds scary. Obviously, you wouldn't bring a critical hit variant against Dahlia, but knowing that Pain Wheel is already in the meta and is, for me, still a very annoying opponent to face, you can potentially build a full base where you just punish all the opponent that relies on crit. A lot of variants actually rely on crit. So this could potentially be really good if there's a Dahlia variant that is defensive and is really good at being in defense. We'll see how this goes, but this looks like a promising Marquee ability, and I'm glad it's a bit more interesting. That's pretty scary. Okay, we can move on now. Now this Prestige ability is pretty much the star of Dahlia, okay? Black Dahlia charges this ability each time she fires a shot. It charges 17% per shot fired, so you'll have to shoot 6 times, basically all your bullets, all 6 of them, finish them off, and then you can activate the Prestige ability. And when you activate it, Black Dahlia inflicts Death Mark and gains Deadeye for 15 seconds each when reloading. That sounds pretty crazy. That's crazy. 15-second Death Mark? Wow. So it seems like Black Dahlia is gonna be like a crit-based fighter, because being able to inflict Death Mark for all variants is really powerful, and she does have Pendulum, which guarantees crit, and then she also gains Deadeye. This is... I feel like this is the first Prestige ability where I'm like, okay, every single Dahlia variant will need this. This is basically a huge boost to her offense. And I'm guessing some people have said that from her variants, she seems to have Eliza stats. So that's assuming that's the true. We're looking at an average attack stat for Dahlia. So this Death Mark and Deadeye could potentially increase her damage to maybe even Parasol levels. Maybe slightly less. Yeah, but yeah, still very significant, still very good. A prestige ability that pretty much every Dahlia should have. Which means the Diamond variants, good luck. I think they will need this as well. So these are the full card arts for the variants. Unholy Host is my favorite here. It's so funny. If you don't know, this is a reference to Lady Demetrius. I don't know her name. It starts with a Lady D. It's from Resident Evil. She's like a giant vampire. That's why Dahlia's head is out of frame. it's really hilarious. All these... This looks so sick. Like, her card art, her poses look so good. We've seen Trigger Happy, we've seen Lethal Weapon, and we've seen Psych Commander, and there's 5, 6, 7, 8 more to go for the trailers, but we'll know what they do at the end of tonight. Once this video is released, you'll probably know what they do. Okay, so this competition, this is the relics. There's another post that went through this really deeply, so I'm not going to cover her availability. But if you want her, you can get her through Veiled Premier Relics, which you can buy for 150 Theonites, and it gives a chance to get a Loose Cannon Relic Shard. So if you buy 10, you'll be able to get 1 Loose Cannon Relic. That's a really good deal. This pity system is really nice. It's not something we have previously, so this is a really welcome change. I love this. So at least everyone, assuming you have like 1500 Theonite, you can guarantee to at least get 1 Dahlia and play around with her, which is really cool. Yep, Loose Cannon Relics, other details. So these are just some details about her availability. You can read this on by yourself, but this is pretty much the same as every other new character release. She's gonna be at a premium offer throughout 5.2, and she will not be easily available, but you can buy her with real money, or if you get lucky through, if you have a lot of Theonite, you can get her. But aside from that, she'll be very limited and exclusive until 5.3 launches. We do have her daily event, which is on a Friday, so yay, I guess. New Catalyst Double Barreled. Black Dahlia gains 2 stacks of Enrage for 15 seconds when firing a shot. With at least 4 stacks of Enrage, shots are unblockable and have a 50% chance to inflict stun for 3 seconds. Oh, that sounds scary. Okay, we don't know how often the AI is gonna shoot a shot, so this remains to be seen. But in theory, if it works like a special move and she can spam it like just for free, whew, This has potential, but character catalysts have not been that great so far, aside from like some staple ones. I'm hesitant, but this could be good, potentially, maybe. Anyway, new stage, the Bunny Burrow, which looks really, really cool. Wow, that looks really cool. Retakes, yes, this was another feature that I really, really wanted as a quality of life, and they finally delivered. We got loadouts and retakes this year. This has been amazing year, and 2 new characters as well. Like, this is all I've wanted for like the last 3 years. You can finally reroll a stat of your choice using these retake items. You can tap the reroll button on your gold moves. It only works on gold moves only. And then you can pick which stat you want to reroll below. Once you pick that, you just press confirm and it gets changed into another random stat. And if you like it, you click after. If you don't like it, you click before. So it's a really nice way to reduce the RNG a bit. There is still an RNG component, of course, but I think it's a step in the right direction. This is really, really good. I love this. I'm excited for this. Now, here's the problem. How to get retakes. I'm hoping this is actually quite easily affordable. Not affordable. Yes, affordable for free-to-play players. That is something easy to get in the game, and it's not something you have to like pay for. But this is basically what they say. 2 retakes for 50s. Oh, wow, that's actually really cheap. I didn't actually pay attention to the price, but 2 retakes for 50 skill points is really, really cheap. That's really good. Black Dahlia is in a premium price. To retake relics, you can. Oh, they're also in relics that you can buy for 50,000 Knoppy coins. That is really good. That is really, really good. So I think retakes is gonna be much more widely available. So that's really good. And furthermore, it's also available through this new prize fight called Show Me Your Moves. It's not actually a new prize fight. It's an old prize fight that got revamped because nobody plays it because it has a really dumb restriction. So I'm really happy that they finally changed it. Now everyone can play it. You don't have to use bronze and silver fighters, and the modifiers are much nicer as well to go through. But the rewards, man, this is what you're looking for. Look at that. You get 2 universal retakes, you get 3 retake relics and some gold moves and Knoppy coins just by reaching 6,000 points. 6 million points, sorry. That sounds really, really good. Ooh, this is gonna be a game changer. I think retake is probably my favorite feature from here. Next, we've got XP treats. Now, personally, I don't really care about these too much, but it's meant to be used to level up your fighter once you get them so that you can use them right on the go. Because if you've got like a diamond fighter, leveling them up takes quite a bit of time. So if you just have some of these items, you just pop them in and they can be at level 40 or something and you can use them directly. So it's a nice way to just power up your fighters. You can get them from the trinket tabs of the COC, Center and Gold Gifts, Daily and Take a Break relics, and from holodeck hazards as well. It seems like the pool for COC and Gold Gifts are starting to get really, really wide. Hopefully it's not gonna impact too much. Okay, so these are just some economy updates. If you'd like to purchase Theonite, there's some extra bonus value from here. So I'm just gonna skip these bit. I think all of these are just economy updates. There's nothing much to pay attention here aside from the fact that some Dahlia stuff like skill points, moves, and catalysts can be bought at a premium price. That's all you need to know. Here's some offer. If you're interested to play Dahlia, you can buy this launch pack. There's a higher tier offer, includes a guaranteed gold side commander fighter. Wow, that's a first. I don't think they've done this with Umbrella before, so ooh, I'm tempted. I'm honestly tempted. I might buy it. We don't know. I need to know the price first. Hopefully it's affordable. Alright, so this was a really nice surprise here. Social gift conversion. You can convert 10 standard gifts into 1 gold gifts as many times as you want. Wow, that's really, really nice. Okay. That's a good solution. A lot of people have been saying too much standard gifts, I don't know who to give, and this is a really nice solution. So this is really nice. Really like it. Let's see what else here. Let's see what else here in the miscellaneous. I don't think there's anything interesting. Diamond Umbrella Deathwish will not be available in regular relics in 5.2, so she's still exclusive until 5.3. Okay, I'm saving my relics for her for 5.3. Right. Next changes is umbrella buffs. I'm actually surprised this actually got into this update because, you know, Black Dahlia, massive update, we got some new features, and then they still managed to slip in these umbrella buffs. Amazing. So first off, slime is now stackable. Suffer damage equal to 2% max health, but it can stack up to 5 times. That is really, really good. This is exactly what Melon wanted, and I completely agree with them. And I think this has made Umbrella a bit better. You know, because a majority of Umbrella's tools can inflict a lot of slime. But when they're not stackable, it becomes a bit redundant. When you've already inflicted slime, the other moves don't really do anything. But now that it can stack, you've got a higher ceiling of being able to inflict more damage for each time a buff is gained. I really want to test this and see how good this is. I'm guessing, you know, against things like Frost Armor, wow. This could potentially be good. I think Umbrella just became so much better with this. And of course, to balance this out, some of the moves got tuned a bit. So Acid Reflux now has a 50% chance for slime on hit. Notice that Acid Reflux, I think, does 3 hits. You've got 3 attempts for a 50% chance for slime. So you'll most likely get like at least 1 or 2 stacks of slime from this. Tongue Twister also is changed into a 35% chance for slime. I don't remember how much hits Tongue Twister can do, but it can hit a lot of times. So I would say it could inflict maybe 2 or 3. And these are some changes to her Prize Fight and Catalyst, and I don't think it matters too much. So let's skip that. Here's some additional changes here. Hunger and Rush will now be enhanced while overstuffed instead of ravenous, and Under the Weather will now be enhanced while ravenous instead of overstuffed. This was a change that I think Melon suggested as well. I don't remember the reasoning why, but I think it's because Hunger and Rush, it fills up your meter. It fills up your hunger meter, so it doesn't make sense to be used in Ravenous. You kind of want to use Hunger and Rush for an overstuffed game plan, so it makes more sense to be in overstuffed to get those benefits. Under the Weather is kind of similar, but it's the opposite. When you use Under the Weather, it reduces your meter, and using it in overstuffed doesn't really make sense because the variants that wants to use Under the Weather are usually puddle based, that uses a lot of bubbles, and will have little meter in the first place. So this was a really nice change, really good quality of life update. Let's see what else here. This is not important, it's just an updated text. Okay, I did not know that was happening. Did not know that was happening either. The precision bug is finally fixed for Robo, Fortune, Headhunter, and Overclock. That is pretty huge. This is a bug that has been plaguing the game for like literally years. I think there's a Twitter account that like specifically counted down like how many days have passed without this bug being fixed. But this is a really nice first step. I'm glad that they finally found the solution to it, because apparently it was a bit difficult to fix, but they found the solution and now it's been implemented to Headhunter and Overclocked. Of course, there are still some other variants that can do an unblockable precision hit, but those variants have not been fixed yet for this update, but will be in future updates. That is Bone's statement. He said so himself, and so I think that's just the reality. Catalyst Relic is now Rift Relic. That makes a lot more sense. I know a lot of new beginners were like, "What's a Catalyst?" So having been told that it's a Rift Relic is probably a good move on that part, just for clarity issues. So this just issue fixes. Okay, 12 days of giving for December. The end of year looms, and so does our annual tradition of giving out mountains of free stuff. Get ready for 12 days of gifting. The rewards are even juicier than last year. Okay, I'm really excited. Hopefully I'm getting a lot of retakes here. Yeah. Okay. 5.2 may be our final major update for 2022, but we have plenty more in store for 2023, including the long awaited debut of Mary Corbell, aka the Skullgirl. I'm actually excited for Mary. Black Dahlia I wasn't too excited about, but Mary seems really cool, and I'm interested to see what she can do. Please keep an eye out for Black Dahlia's prize fight in 5.3. We'll have a post early next year outlining our plans. Stay tuned. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And as always, thank you all so much for your support in 2022. This is actually a massive update. Wow. There's so much features that got into it. I know from the roadmap that they haven't covered the whole thing, but I think in terms of quality of life updates, they've done a really good job while still being able to release new content in the form of new character release. I think once Marie is released, and all the characters planned have been released, they can finally get onto actual Skullgirls mobile content like guilds and Everest and so forth. Right now, we're still in the new character stage. I'm guessing that's fine. New characters do pay the bills for them, so it's good to see. And it's interesting, actually. Black Dahlia's release this time has been, I think, much better than Umbrella. When I was watching Umbrella, I was a bit, like, underwhelmed a bit. But Black Dahlia seems more solid. I'm interested and excited to see how she's gonna perform. And she seems like a really fun fighter to have and to use and to play with. So I'm really excited for that. That's the end of this video. I've covered the whole update notes, I think. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this update notes. Are there anything that I might have missed? What are your thoughts about Dahlia so far? Is she exciting? Are you hyped for her? Are you excited for next year? And how do you feel about this update in particular? I think this is literally the best update. This is the best update. Amazing. 10/10 for me. Wow. Okay guys, that's all for me today. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all have a nice day ahead, and I'll see you in the next video.